What's good, fam? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 8 review. Tuesday, my Fashion Killer BET Awards video will be up at 6 p.m. Central Time. You do not want to miss it. It is going to be filled with hilarity, featuring myself and my bestie, Shereé. So tune in Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time for the BET Awards Fashion Killer video. Okay, let's get into tonight's episode. So we start off tonight's episode with Sonya at home, and she talks to her sister about being fearful of telling her husband Ross that she doesn't think that she wants to have another baby. Like, she has thought about it, and she's quite adamant that she does not see it for her in her future. She wants to continue to work and do her own thing. And plus, he's gone all the time back to Texas, I believe, where they used to stay, because they have a rental limousine or a car business or whatever. So she's always there by herself with their son Deuce. And even though she has her family, it's still her doing a lot of the parenting on her own. And her sister was like, please don't have no other baby. Because Deuce bad as fuck. Like, she can barely get him under control. Could you imagine Sanya with another damn baby? Because that little damn Deuce is bad as shit. So we then switch to Shereé. She has invited Marlo and Kandi to go to this sauna with her. However, Kandi arrives fully dressed, hair and makeup done. She's like, I'm not getting no sauna. I got somewhere else to be after this. So they kind of looking at her like, well, damn, bitch, like, you knew where the fuck we was coming. And she was like, no, I'll just sit out here. And you could tell there was like a little bit of tension on Kandi's end coming into the event or whatever. Her guard was up. She's known what's been going on, what's being said about her or whatever. So she was like, you know, ready or whatever for whatever they had to say to her. So Shereé kicks things off by telling Kandi that she feels like she hasn't been there for her. And out of everybody, she's known her the longest, and she knows what she's been going through with Tyrone, and she hasn't called her and everything to check on her, and how they used to do a lot of stuff together, and she misses that. And Kandi was like, well, how are you asking something for me that you all ain't doing yourself? Like, y'all don't call me, y'all don't do this, that, and the third. And I'm happy that a lot of you in the comment section reminded me about, you know, Shereé being fake towards Kandi in past seasons, and how Kandi don't owe her anything. Because you have to understand, you guys, I review all these shows. I can't remember everything, so I totally forgot about that point. So you all are 100% correct on the fact that now that I'm reminded, yeah, Kandi don't really owe her ass shit, because Shereé's last season on the show, when Kim was on the show, you know what I'm saying, she was acting some type of way towards Kandi. And then even this season, with all the horrible things that Shereé co-signed that Marlo was saying about Kandi, it's like, you want me to call you and be there for you, but then you co-signing with Marlo calling me a hoe and saying I fucked all of Atlanta and all of the rappers in the damn industry. So it's like, why do you want somebody to be your friend that you feel so negatively about? So Marlo then jumps in and was like, you know, well, how do you give a foster child used clothes? You was raised better than that. You was raised with a family. And Kandi was like, don't try to bring up this foster care stuff, how you was raised. And Marlo then was like, do you know what I've been going through? And she tells Kandi about the situation with her sister and how that messed up her day. And Kandi was like, well, you know, my family feels like they don't get enough time for me either, Marlo. So it's like, it's not just you saying that, but like, I can only do but so much, is what she was trying to say. And Marlo was like, well, if everybody is saying it, then maybe that's something you should work on. Kandi looked at her like, bitch, what? Like, the fuck? And one thing that I will say, not coming from Marlo, because Marlo, you're full of shit, but Kandi's family has a better point than, of course, Marlo and Shereé. But Kandi does need to take heed when her family is saying you need to put more time into your family instead of always working. Like you have two small children that you're constantly being away from. You got a husband, you have things outside of business that you need to tend to. Now, Marlo and Shereé can get somewhere and sit the fuck down. But I do believe that Kandi does need to take heed to what her family is saying. I do also notice that Kandi is one of those people where she don't like nobody saying nothing to her. It don't matter who it is, her family, her friends. She don't like being confronted with stuff because she feels like she don't do no wrong, and that's something that Kandi really needs to work on. Kandi at this point is frustrated. She's angry. She starts yelling. When she get the yelling and that voice get the wiggling, Kandi is upset, and Kandi starts crying. She's like, I'm getting so frustrated. This is annoying. How y'all gonna ask me to do something that y'all don't even do? Marlo, you don't understand. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. And she was like, I just don't understand, like, why y'all always coming at me, Kandi's not used to that. Kandi's not used to being the one in the hot seat when it comes to multiple cast members. She's used to having little qualms here and there with like Portia or Nene in the past, or even Phaedra or Kim one-on-one, but not multiple people in the group targeting her. She's not used to that. So Shereé in her confessional was like, I didn't expect for her to have a whole tantrum. Because she low-key was having a tantrum, but it's still like, fuck y'all hoes. So they end up leaving on somewhat of a good stance with each other, but you can tell that there's still tension there amongst the ladies. So then we see Sonya at home cooking dinner for Ross. She don't know what the fuck she doing. Thank God her mama wasn't there, so she don't kill that man. Meanwhile, while she cooking, her little badass son Deuce coming there telling some, Mama, I want my food right now. Now, the first time he said, I'm thinking like maybe she asked him like, you ready to eat now or later? And they cut that part out with him saying right now. So I didn't trip off of it the first time. But then when he brought his little ass back in there for the second time, Thompson, I want to eat right now. And she tells him, okay, Deuce, here I come. Girl, if you don't smack the shit out of Deuce and tell Deuce to go have several fucking seats with his badass, that's why you don't want to have no more damn kids, because he running over your ass and you let him. Girl, bye. I would have told Deuce, if you don't, boy, you better get your ass out my goddamn face. So, she ends up, cooking and everything, and her and Ross sit down. They both change clothes. They're dressed up, and she kicks it off like, when was the last time we did something like this? You're always gone. I wasn't expecting for you to be gone like this. And she begins to cry and gets emotional when telling him that, she doesn't really want to have another child. And, she feels like even though she has her mom and them there, that she doesn't really have the support, because it's like he's gone. And if they have another baby, he going to still be going back and forth. So that means she going to be, here with a newborn and Deuce badass by herself, still, doing everything. So I understood exactly where she was coming from with that, and especially with her past. I wish they would have brought that up on the show. If you all remember, before the season began, I did a whole video regarding Sanya's past, and in her past, right before the 2008 Summer Olympics, she had an abortion, like literally right before. And she said that she told Ross over the phone, and, she made the decision to have an abortion, and he wasn't there with her. He didn't come. She did it, by herself. She then went on to go to the Olympics, win the gold and everything. But she felt ashamed about it. She felt like it was a scarlet letter on her that she had to keep a secret, and that they never spoke about it. And she said that it really hurt her, and that she had harbored resentment towards him for years over the fact that he wasn't there with her when that happened. Years later, she, got pregnant with Deuce, and they had to really sit down and talk about what happened in their past or whatever. So that plays a big part in why she feels the way that she does, because I got pregnant right before one of the biggest things in my career happened. I made the decision to put my career over, having this baby. You weren't there for me. Then I get pregnant, have a child. You still ain't really there. Then you want me to have another baby and you still not going to be there. It's like, dude, like she's constantly feeling like he's not there to really support her. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's doing stuff for the family, she still needs his, support system. And then if you all remember, Sonya actually has, I think it's pronounced Behçet's disease. And she was diagnosed with this in 2007. And it is a rare sickness in which the victim develops an excess amount of cold sores and lesions in both the mouth and body. Wow. Whoa. Ooh, Lord. So with all that going on, I wouldn't want to be having another baby, neither, child. My body already, hurting and going through shit. Like, that's a lot to put on somebody. But even after crying and telling her husband how she felt, he still was like, that's not going to change. I still want another child. And I feel like he's being quite selfish because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's going to have to be pregnant with this baby for 9 months. I'm the one that's going to have to be literally attached to this baby for the first 2 to 3 years, like literally. And you get to go and come and go as you please. That's not fair. And she was like, well, would you resent me if we didn't? And he was like, I don't know. I really don't know. Well, nigga, you better get to knowing because I'm not having no motherfucking more babies. Period. I'm tired of niggas feeling like they get to say what the fuck we do with our motherfucking bodies. Like this Roe versus Wade bullshit. But, I ain't going to even get into all of that. So then we see Shereé at her crib. She has hired a business manager to help her with She by Shereé. Thank God. Marlo is at Les Archives with her nephews, and she says that ever since they talked to their mama, they've been acting up, not wanting to do chores and, talking back and all this, that, and the third or whatever. So she's just been trying to keep them busy. So then we go to Kandi and Kenya and Monyetta. They meet up at this candle making shop. They having a good time. They invite her to Drew's Drop It with Drew class that she's having. And then Kenya tells them what Marlo said about Kandi trying to donate used clothes to her girls and how she hasn't been a good friend. And Kandi was like, yeah, she had the nerve to tell me I wasn't being a good friend to her and all of this bullshit, her and Shereé at the sauna. Kandi then goes on to say that she feels like Marlo is starting a hate campaign against her. And I was like, Marlo is targeting you because that's what Marlo does. Like, she had to go after the queen bee, and that is you and Kenya. She had to stir up drama for the show, so she went after you two. Duh. So Kandi asks Monyetta, when she went on her honeymoon, did she use any of the bedroom candy products that she got her? And she was like, oh girl, yeah, we did. And Kenya was like, oh, don't get me started on that. And so Kandi was like, oh, let me tell you about her and what she did. So she was like, I gave everybody, vibrating panties with remotes. And Kenya was like, no. She was like, tell her that, if the woman was within close proximity to somebody's remote, it could activate theirs. And Monyetta was like, oh, wait a minute now, what the hell? And Kandi was like, not you too. And it was like, yeah, girl, like that's creepy, that's nasty, don't nobody like that. I understand the intention, but no, like that's not cool. You can't get mad at somebody for not wanting to participate or feeling some type of way about that. And so Kandi, once again, being defensive and not wanting to be wrong, brings up Kenya saying in the past that there was 3 women in the group that could get it, and Kandi was one of them, and the fact that she said that in front of Ty. I'm like, once again, you are reaching for straws, Kandi. Her saying that you could get it in front of your husband is totally different than having on vibrating panties and somebody else's husband being able to control your, orgasms or your bodily functions. Like, that is totally different. Like, Kandi just need to take the L on this and be like, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. Like, Kandi has a real big problem with being wrong, and she needs to stop that shit. So, Kandi then goes on to say that, her and Kenya can, disagree and move on. But with Marlo, it's like she keeps trying to turn everybody against me. So it's the day of the Drop It with Drew event. And Sonya ends up coming, and when she comes in, she thanks Drew for inviting her and gives her a hug. And I'm like, see, this is my issue with Sonya, because one day you got an issue with her damn near about to fight. The next time you see her, you're hugging her and telling her, thank you for inviting me. It's like, who you gonna be, girl? Which side of the fence you on? So now I'm starting to feel like everybody else, like, are you just doing this for a storyline, girl? What is going on? So Marlo walks in, and she doesn't speak to Kandi, and Candy's like, look at this shit, she ain't even gonna speak to me. Shereé comes with all that booty. Shereé got a nice ass body. Yes, ma'am. So Kandi was like, oh shit, Shereé, you gotta put all that donk up, girl. Anybody got time for all that? Shit. So Shereé got on her She by Shereé leggings. She brings her She by Shereé yoga mat and water bottle, and everybody was like, when is that gonna be available? I need some of those. And she was like, it's coming soon, and the shady ass producer's gonna write on the screen winter, spring, summer, fall. Like, we don't know when this shit gonna come, goddamn it. I was like, y'all so fucking shady. So all the girls end up talking and stuff, and Sonya decides to walk over to Ralph and ask him his advice from a man about her not wanting to have another child and everything. And I'm looking like, why are you going over here talking to Ralph of all people about this shit? You was just getting into it with his wife. Like, I understand that y'all was, getting to know each other as couples friends for a minute, but if you've been having problems with this man's wife, why are you walking over here asking him for fucking advice? Like, Sonya is just all over the place. Like, I don't know what's going on with her. I'm not feeling it. Like, that's crazy as hell to me. Like, what? Like, why are you over here talking to that girl husband? So then Kandi confronts Marlo about talking about her to everybody when they went and had lunch, and Kandi wasn't there because she was out filming for a la carte. And Marlo was like, it wasn't just me, it was all of us. We was all talking. So they decide, we're going to table this because it's the wrong time to have this conversation. And when the class starts, Todd gets a phone call from the police notifying him that some strange man has jumped the gate to their community and went and set his ass on their porch. It's not funny because that shit is crazy and scary. So he tells Kandi, like, come on. Everybody looking like, what the fuck is going on? Everybody following him outside. And the police, told the guy to leave, and if he comes back, he's going to get arrested. So they decide to leave so they can go home and, check on their children, because the kids was there with Kandi's friend Katrina, who was watching them. So of course anybody would be nervous. Like, you don't know what this person came to the house to do. Like, what the fuck is going on? So they leave, and the class goes on, and Drew can't even fucking keep up. Like, she just all over the place looking stupid in the face. I'm like, how are you gonna be the face of something when you're not in shape like that? You can't even keep up with the workout. Like, it's obvious that you're not even doing the program. And it's just like, why would this woman partner up with Drew of all people to be the face of her company when she is a horrible representation? So then after the class, Marlo gonna say in her confession, I don't work out, I get lipo. Ain't that what Drew did? And I was like, yep. So Shereé in her confession are gonna say, between Drew's horrible mommy makeover and the way she doing these moves, I can see why she still look like a busted can of biscuits. I was like, Shereé Whitfield, you did not have to say that about that lady, but there was no lie spoken. So then Kenya arrives late or whatever, And did y'all peep Ava and Alexis McClure, mama in the background, the twins from YouTube? Y'all know she's cool with Kenya. I mean, not Kenya, Kandi and them. I would love to see her as a housewife. I really honestly would love to see her on the show with the twins and her little white husband child. I think that'll be so cute. So the ladies learned that Drew's friend Jackie is the actual owner of Drop It with Drew, and that she brought Drew on just as the face of the company. Meanwhile, Drew had tried to play it to the girls like, we've been doing this for a long time, and like she was actually a business owner and all of this stuff. And it's like, why are you on here lying? Like, what the fuck is going on with you, Drew? So the lady Jackie ended up telling them that the program was originally called 21 Day Program. And so Drew was like, now that y'all done grilling me on my business, we have waited decades upon decades for some of these businesses. We still waiting on She by Shereé. So everybody was like, ooh, shots are fired. And I'm like, girl, you can't get mad because people calling you out on your bullshit. And Shereé even said, girl, you're just a face or something. Like, how dare you? Then Monietta decides to stir the pot by bringing up, Kandi having issues with Marlo, talking about her and feeling like she's trying to get people to go against her. So Marlo was like, well, did it come from you, Kenya? And Kenya was like, yeah, I'm the one that told her, and I told her the shit accurately. I didn't add nothing to it. Kenya was like, she just ain't fucking with you. So Marlo was like, what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna die because she don't want to fuck with me. That shit was funny to me, child. So Kenya was like, no, I just made her realize all the things you haven't been to her. Marlo in her confessional starts playing the victim role. Thompson Kenya runs game on me and always trying to down me and break me down. And I'm sick of it. I'm like, Marlo, the fuck Hampton. You came into this season starting with that girl and want to get mad when she say something back to your ass. Like, you can't blame Kenya. You started this shit this season. You honestly did. So stop it with the foolishness. So Marlo want to keep shit going. She wants to have her moment. And she says to Kenya, can you teach me how to be a friend, Kenya? Tell us about Mark. Tell us about your fake booty. And I'm like, girl, you've been saying the same shit for how many fucking years? Like, come up with some new reads. Please, they're tired. So Kenya was like, bitch, I'm perfect. Fuck you. I was cracking up. She was like, you keep going backwards. Learn how to speak. And so Marlo was like, learn how to keep a man. You settle for when they belittled you. And Kenya was like, I did, and I have a beautiful child from that. And what do you have? And I was like, you better tell her ass, Kenya. I love the fact that Kenya owns that shit. Like, so, and I sure did. I played the fool. Sure did, bitch. But what about you? We ain't seen you with a man. You ain't never had no man. You ain't married. You ain't got no kids, bitch. What do you have? And now if Kenya was a low down dirty bitch like her, she could have went there and said something crazy about that girl's sister, about them damn kids. Like, cause Marlo would be the type that would go there with her. So she better be happy that Kenya ain't a low down dirty bitch like some people could, because she could have easily been like, hey, what the fuck do you have but some damn nephews and that's by a drug addicted mama? Like, she could have really honestly went there and hurt her fucking feelings, because Marlo hits below the belt. She goes too fucking far. Like, the shit don't even be reeds, it just be fucking daggers, and it's not even cute. So Marlo then step up in Kenya's face, and Kenya was like, get the fuck out my face. And Kenya had her hand up all in Marlo's face, all in her. Like, I ain't never seen Kenya like that. Kenya was tired of that bitch. She was like, get the fuck out my face. Get the fuck out my face. Had her hand all up in Marlo's shit. Now, Sheridan told me that Kenya actually like practiced in the past like judo or some type of form of martial arts or some shit, and that she actually knows how to fight. Now, I wouldn't think that she wouldn't, especially growing up in Detroit. I would think that, she'd been fighting for her life. So Kenya got her hand all up in Marlo's face and was like, get the fuck out my face, get the fuck out my face. And the producer saw that Kenya wasn't playing with her ass. Kenya was gonna hit her. And so one of the producers went and grabbed Kenya and pulled her back, and Kenya was like, you not gonna walk up on me, you pitiful little hoe. You not gonna disrespect me. Try me again. You gonna get fucked up. I was like, okay, Kenya Moore, I see the motherfucking Motor City coming up out your ass. She was tired of Marlo. Marlo Thompson, anytime I talk to Kenya, I'm gonna have my hands behind my back because I see she don't know how to just talk. Girl, stop, Marlo. You like to push people until they want to smack the shit out your ass. And here goes Shereé. Yup, co-signing once again like the fucking follower she is. So Kenya walks out with Drew, and Marlo in her confession tells her, Kenya is always coming for me. Bitch, you started with her. What the fuck? I'm sick of Marlo. This is why I did not want Marlo to get a peach, because Marlo is... she's good in certain moments, but it's the delusional shit that she do. It's the going too far for me. It's the hidden below the belt for me. It's just, she makes it unlikable at times, and it's just too raunchy. Not even raunchy. It's just gutter with her, and it doesn't epitomize to me what a housewife is supposed to be with her. And I think that's why it took all these years for her to actually get a fucking peach. So Kenya's outside talking to Drew, and Marlo steady taunting her, talking buy fake booty. And Kenya was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about her. I don't give a fuck about that ugly bitch. And then we see Kenya's new confessional look, which was everything to me. I loved that confessional look at the end. So Marlo gonna tell Monietta at the end, I'm from the hood. I'm not going to say nothing about your husband, your children, or your mothers. And the producers show every time where she has talked about Kenya mama, talked about her child, talked about her husband. Like, you are a big ass contradiction, and somebody could slap the shit out of you. You know all the fucked up shit that Kenya could say about fucking Marlo. Bitch, that's why you ain't had no mother. Bitch, that's why you grew up in foster care. Bitch, that's why you a fucking criminal. Bitch, bitch this. Like, it's so much shit you could say about Marlo that fucking have her ass in the corner shaking. Like, she need to watch how she talk to people. So we then see Kandi return home. The police tell her that, the guy was saying that he was there to speak to her, and that he was Beyonce cousin and T.I. son, child. They had footage of the nigga at the gate. Yeah, that motherfucker wasn't even like no fan playing. Like, you can tell, like, he had some mental issues going on. So that was, of course, very scary. And then we see Sanya asks Drew, can they talk one-on-one? And she was like, I apologize if you felt like I was attacking you. Next time I won't wait until it's a group. If I got any issues with you, I'm gonna come talk to you. And Drew was like, thank you, because I did feel like it was a gang up on me. So Sonya then goes on to tell Drew about what's been going on with her and Ross, and about this not wanting to have a baby thing. And I'm looking like, why are you telling her this? You was just saying you don't even know if you could trust her. I'm like, Sonya is just all over the place. Like, what is going on with you? Why would you be telling her this? Huh? Make it make sense. So Drew was like, well, you got to do that for your husband. And Sonya was looking like, what the fuck you mean I got to do that for my husband? And Sonya was like, what if I do it and I end up having resentment towards him for, making me have a baby, or making me feel like I had to in order to keep him. And Drew was like, you got to do what makes your husband happy. And I'm looking at Drew like, you in this step for wife shit. Girl, this ain't Leave It to Beaver. She ain't got to do shit when it comes to her body to make somebody else happy. If you want a baby that bad, bitch, you carry it. How about that? Now, this is why you can't talk to everybody about everything. And I don't understand, once again, why she would be talking to Drew, of all people, about this in the first place. Drew sounded like a fucking idiot. You do that shit on over there with your husband. But I don't feel like any woman is obligated to do anything when it's concerning her fucking body. Women, especially black women, die every day from having children on the fucking table. So, no, not gonna do it. So that was the end of this episode. Overall, I give tonight's episode a B+. It was entertaining for what it was. Marlo irks my nerves. Shereé is a flip-flopper. Sonya is just Sonya. Like, I could do with her, do without her. I'm just like, bye. So far, I'm really loving Kenya this season. I feel like Kandi can't take responsibility for some of her actions. like Drew is just an idiot to me. I actually like Monietta and wish we could have saw more of her this season as well. Yeah, that's my thoughts on tonight's episode. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. You guys thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.